Hey guys, Philip Passmore here, and I'm doing another tutorial. This one might be something quite a few of you might have struggled with. This is how you build a turret. Well, not so much how you build a turret, because actually building a turret is much like a ship. Actually, it is just like a ship, and at this stage you should be able to build a ship. If you're looking at building turrets, you know how to build a ship. You don't need me to tell you that. Okay, so what we got here is a floating platform, and I hope you're ready. There's a little bit of a shopping list to this. You need a ship core, you hit X, and you start building it like a ship. So this is missile turret. You need a Bobby AI unit, and I personally love the, I do love the design of that Bobby AI unit. You need a faction module, and then you need energy and shields. The engines are purely optional, and they're currently only there. Actually, I can get rid of them. That was mainly just so I could move the damn thing around. It's without any engines, it's incredibly slow. Technically, I don't think it's meant to move at all, and I'm positive they're going to fix that at some point. I think the core can currently get up to max speed, which is a little silly. Now, a turret does not share the shields of the ship it's attached to, or the station, so it needs its own shields. And you can also see I put energy generators. Although, technically, from what I've read, you shouldn't need them, although when I've attached them to a station, they only seem to draw about 1 energy a second, and they run out of, like, there's particularly things like the antimatter cannons just seem to run out of energy pretty damn quickly. So yeah, I've put a few generators on there to make sure the shields work and the thing can fire. Although, I mean, it's not like they've got much cost, so I don't mind too much. Now, you need a weapons computer. Now, choose a weapon you want to use. I currently wouldn't recommend dumbfire missiles. I wouldn't recommend heat-seeking. My experience with heat-seeking was I have seen a ship fire heat-seeking rockets only for it to then flip back and attack a turret. So yeah, it's not perfect. But again, it's an alpha, and you know, these things will change and things will get fixed, and you know, we don't need to worry too much. So as you can see, I'm just building a little bit of a shell around it. Now, because it can only have really a very limited amount of shields, I mean turrets are small by their nature, so you're going to have limited shields compared to, say, a ship. And with that in mind, you kind of need to build out of hardened hull. You know, make it a little bit tougher. Although hardened hull doesn't give that much of a boost, it can help survivability quite considerably. I had one ship go into a very nasty firefight and took an awful lot of damage. But the hardened hull, mainly 2 layers of hardened hull, did manage to slow down the damage to my ship to the point where I was able to mostly escape. There wasn't much left of my ship, granted, but I did escape. So this is nice and simple. You know, it's shipbuilding, so it really isn't hard. And if I bind all this, the only thing I will warn is currently, if you put the build computer in, not in build mode, like say you were, let's say you just put down the ship core and you were just putting down a very quick platform with the Bobby AI unit and, you know, the faction module, and you just put down the computer component anyway without thinking, and you know, that isn't a problem. Well, you know, that shouldn't be a problem really. However, from my experience so far, if you do that, it won't detect the weapons, and I found that on the very first time I played the game, I built a ship and then found I couldn't get the weapon system to work for the life of me. I kept trying and I tried everything. Had a friend telling me what I should be doing, and his advice was pretty sound, but it just didn't seem to be working. And later on I found it was basically a bug. there's not much you can really do. So over there we've got a turret docking port. Same way you would, you know, if there's docking port, there's turret docking port enhancers. They're used exactly the same way as you would dock a larger ship. You don't need that many of them for a turret. This is homing missiles, so it should pack a punch. I have a nasty feeling this may blast a hole through my station rather than the enemy, but you know, it's worth a risk. Quick weapon test fire. And let's see. It helps if I actually select the weapon. Oh, yeah, another really minor, pretty minor issue is sometimes you have to click above the target rather than below, or you know, rather than on. You have to click actually on it. It's like trying to target this. Oh wait, I was already targeted. Oh, that's fine. Weapon test. My weapon isn't even selected. There we go. All firing. It's my old ship. It doesn't matter too much. Plus it's got really strong shields, so... No, okay. So what we need to do now is target... Now the weapons... Well, the weapon system works. That was my main concern. I'm not having much luck here. Okay. I just need a docking beam online. Okay, there we go. Now, with this, we need to target... Hold on a second. This is the completely optional part, and if you were sensible and actually built it next to... you actually built it next to your station, rather than quite a distance away, this wouldn't be necessary. Oh well, that'll do. 2 engines just to boost me along a little bit. Now, you don't need to build 8 turrets. Say you're building a ship and you want to put 4 or 5 turret units on. Well, if you go to catalog and you see, let's delete missile. That one's actually an old design which is slightly glitched. So we create new entry and we'll call this missile turret. Oops, if I type properly. We call it missile turret and we click OK. Now, did that save? Yeah, missile turret. Okay, and then you can buy them off the catalogue. Now, if you're building a station, that may mean you have to rig up some sort of turret transporting ship, which I suppose would be a ship like 4 or 5 turret docking ports on. You know, it could be pretty small actually. Probably more like an engine block for turret ports. Okay, now before I can dock, there is one key thing I have to do. You have to keep the core exposed on one side. So naturally, the rear of my core is exposed, so that isn't too much of a problem. I mean, it shouldn't get directly hit because it's close. And okay, one of the first things you need to do is you have to activate this faction module, otherwise it won't dock for that ship. Or not the ship, the station. You need to well, actually we can't activate yet the Bobby AI quite yet. So if I move away, yeah, I mean having this sort of tucked away is a little bit annoying in one respect. Now, cannot dock here, target incompatible. I love that message when you dock. Okay, that's done. That is docked onto the station. So if I fly in here, activate Bobby AI, and set target anything, and yeah, that's it. It's now securely docked. As you can see, it is slightly exposed, but anything attacking, it should really be hitting this aspect of the ship. The thing is, you can probably cover it a bit more if you had... if you don't do what I just did. That's embarrassing. Okay, let's see if I can fix this quickly. Don't think my ship's docked anymore. Okay, we're almost done. This is the easy process. This is where we now dock. You know, it's what all the effort was about. And we're docked. Let's quick check. No movement. Finally. Okay. So that's how you dock a turret, and I recommend you don't screw it up entirely. Now, one thing you have to do now is activate the Bobby AI. You just click active. There really isn't much choice here. It's aim at select targets or any, or if it's a station, it's going to be any. And you've got between turrets and ship, which is actually quite nice because, I mean, turrets are, you know, of weak point. Because, how's the best way to put it? Turrets, because turrets don't share the shield of the station or ship they're attached to, they only have what is essentially the shields of a small fighter. And concentrated fire, particularly if a ship's large and sluggish, or if it's a station, these are going to be easy to just chip off. If you've got a ship with decent firepower, a few concentrated blasts and you will get rid of these turrets easily. But at the same time, I haven't tried out missiles. I'm kind of interested to see if that'll work. Because with missiles, my experience so far in combat is missiles are king. Particularly homing missiles are absolutely deadly. Particularly as I haven't had any luck getting the jamming, the jamming technology to work. So, as far as I'm aware, I don't think it does. All it seems to do is completely drain my power in like a second. So yeah, that's how you just dock a turret. It's nice and simple. As I said, you can buy more from the catalogues. Oh, one quick point I will say. If you were, say, building a huge ship and you had like 8 turrets on it, and you put all the turrets on and then you flew into, I don't know, you got completely massacred in a large battle. Well, as long as you saved the catalogue after you attached the turrets, your new ship will have turrets on when you rebuy the ship. It's really nice and it's really handy. And that was found out, I think, yeah, we found out by accident on the fact that one of us lost a small ship, but we had been using we'd attached to it a tiny ship as essentially a shuttle. So, yeah, that's quite handy. So, yeah, definitely, you know, turrets are a really nice feature, and you know, you can minimise the exposure of the core just by putting some whole plate in a layer. Unlike, that's still there, right? It's like visual glitch. Unlike docking ports you can have like in this case the core is in the middle of the ship. But it doesn't matter for a docking port. But for a turret port, it needs to be exposed. And, you know, it just creates a weakness. And it kind of balances. Turrets are actually quite well balanced in that regard. Although I do feel the pirate stations need some missile turrets. Because currently you can sit about 600 to 500 meters off and just destroy every turret on a pirate station with 4 or 5 homing missiles. It's a little bit unchallenging, particularly for loot they drop. So yeah, I hope this helps and this explains your issues. I mean, it may not. If you have problems, leave a comment and I'll try and help out if I can. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe to my channel for future videos and all that lovely stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.